podcast contains mature content. The views and opinions expressed by the co-host are not necessarily those of the host. Listener discretion is advised. Can you dig it, sucker? This is Smackin Raw Podcast, episode 41, and yes, that was a horrible impersonation of Booker T, but I do what I can when I can. I am your host, the Warden Matt Ritter, and I am here with my co-host, Travis Pointer, better known as Sir Cussalot.
What's happening? I just want to point out that you acknowledged how bad your impression was, and then you chose to do it anyway.
Well, see, I have to do something. I've set this precedence now.
Here's the thing: you don't have to. You choose to.
I enjoy it. I know all my impersonations.
Exactly. It's not even for the audience anymore. It's for you. You choose to do this.
I'll agree with that. I'll accept that. Eric is not with us this week. He is leaving for vacation tomorrow, and apparently he couldn't find time to watch SmackDown, and packing was more important than joining us tonight, even though he's still home and absolutely could have done it.
Look, he still could have done the show. I've pointed out before that I've done this show before without watching either Raw or SmackDown, and nobody knows which episode that is.
That is true.
So he could have still done it. He's being a little
I agree.
Bitch. But anyway.
And just time better and set his priorities. You know, this should be a priority. He should have packed last night or this morning or, you know, whatever the case may be.
Or just
but
don't
he
pack.
Didn't.
Like, what do you need stuff for? You're going on vacation. What stuff do you really need? Everything you need is on the vacation.
I agree. And also, he will not be with us for our live after Backlash podcast. So I will hit up. And if you're listening, Phil, I'm going to hit you up, see if you want to hop on and do it with us since Eric won't be there. If not, it will be me and Travis just like tonight.
You know, this will be our second live Smackin' It Raw. And he has not been on one of them yet.
It's very disappointing.
It is.
He says he can't be on the podcast next week either, so I don't know when he plans on coming back, or he's just fucking up left and right.
Yo, I'm just going to fire him.
There you go. All right, Travis.
I fired John on Sunday.
You fired John?
Yeah.
Is he fired from Creation Magazine or just from doing the Creation Conversation?
No, he was fired from Wild Wild West World for now.
Oh, because he didn't watch Wild Wild West World?
Because he didn't show. He didn't watch and wasn't available to do the podcast because he didn't watch because he's just fucking up. He's doing John shit. Smoked too much weed. You know, he forgot.
All right. So I can still use him on here, though, right?
Man, I don't give a fuck what you do with him.
Oh, okay. Well, like I was trying to say, Travis, we're here to talk wrestling, so let's get into it.
Wait, before we talk wrestling, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's also our prediction episode. So Monday Night Raw kicked off with Roman Reigns, who apparently Canada absolutely hates. He came out and talked Greatest Royal Rumble and how he thinks he won that match, which I'm not going to lie. I agree with him. Brock's laying on the cage. His feet did not touch the floor.
Yeah, technically, yeah, I didn't. Let me just put this out there now. I didn't watch the Greatest Royal Rumble. I have more things to do with my time than to watch some random pay-per-view over in Saudi Arabia that came on at 12 o'clock on a Friday. Sorry, I have other things to do with my time. Especially one that, okay, I'm trying to think, did anything of consequence happen at the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Absolutely nothing except your prediction that Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt would become Raw Tag Team Champions. And
they could have done that on a Raw.
They could have. And we got to see Braun Strowman actually win a Royal. That's all he got was a trophy and a belt. That was it.
Does he get to like wear that belt like all the time now?
I didn't see him wear it on Raw.
I know, me neither. But like, I feel like he should. But anyway,
I do.
That's why I didn't watch it, because I knew there would be nothing of consequence happening there. I'm like, I'm not wasting my time with that. But anyway, I agree. Technically, he won that match, but they did the whole, I've never seen anything like that before. Clearly, they never watched WCW, because Goldberg clearly did that to David Arquette, and that was how he won the World Heavyweight title. I remember that shit.
Yep, I agree.
But anyway, they hate Roman, and I like it because they hate him.
I mean, it wasn't exactly the same, but didn't Big Show, when he debuted as Paul White in WWE, throw Stone Cold through a cage. Now, the cage opened up and Stone Cold dropped down, so his feet did hit the floor, but he still went through the cage.
Yeah, same basic thing. Yeah, so they like to act like shit is new, but those of us who have been watching wrestling for a while know that nothing is really new.
Yeah. So anyway, Roman came out and cried about how he feels he won that match. He should be Universal Champion, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter because he's not. Then Samoa Joe gets on the screen because he's a SmackDown superstar that's in a feud with the Raw superstar because all of our pay-per-views from here on out are co-branded. And he talks some shit to Roman. And then Jinder showed up, and Kevin Owens showed up, and Sami Zayn showed up, and they all wanted a shot at Roman. Kevin Owens got the biggest cheer from the crowd. Roman punched him in the face. All three guys jumped him, and then out came Bobby Lashley and Braun Strowman to save Roman Reigns. Why?
I just want to point out that I really hate what they're doing with Bobby Lashley. Because
the fact that he's a good guy and not a heel?
Not even that he's not a heel. It's just that he's really not doing anything. Like, he's just kind of there. They're like, let's throw him in this random tag match. Let's throw him in this other random tag match. Let's just throw him out there. And nothing. He's not doing anything. He's just there.
Well, all that led to a 6-man tag match, which saw Braun Strowman pin Kevin Owens, which, again, was 4-0, had no reason. They did, however, announce that at Backlash, we are going to see Bobby Lashley and his new tag team partner, Braun Strowman, take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Exactly. Why?
Maybe we're just, to use a marching band term, maybe we're just marking time until after Backlash, and then things can really get going. Because Backlash is supposed to be like the rebound off of WrestleMania, you know? So maybe after that, we can actually like get into some actual stories, because it seems
I
like
hope so, because I got really good tickets for Money in the Bank, and I need them to have something good going into Money in the Bank.
Yeah, let's hope. But I'm really hoping that after Backlash, like I said, they get it together and actually do some real shit, because everybody just seems to be kind of just stagnant, because I feel like they set these matches up before they decided who was going to get moved to what brand. And so they're like, oh, we got to still have these matches that don't make any sense anymore. But after Backlash, we can get our shit together. So let's hope that's what happens.
Did you see Bobby Roode versus Elias on Hulu?
All right. So let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
Let me tell you what happened. I watched Raw on Hulu, as I always do. But let me tell you, I was so fucking tired after the week I had last week. There was a chunk where I fell asleep. There's a very good chance that happened on the Hulu version, but I don't remember because I fell asleep for a chunk of it, and I didn't feel like rewinding and going back.
Fair enough. Well, it was a rematch from last week after Elias beat Bobby Roode by cheating. This time, the match was stopped because Roode supposedly got injured out at ringside. So, no, I don't know what they're doing with Bobby Roode and Elias.
What kind of injury?
Having this. What?
What kind of injury?
They didn't really say. And off the top of my head, because I didn't write it down, I don't remember. I think it was a knee or an ankle, maybe.
Oh, so some bullshit. Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
So the injury was not glorious. I saw the Authors of Pain.
Beat the Nobodies.
Yeah. I'm like, why is this happening? Okay, they just need somebody to squash real quick. Okay.
It was like Jacques and Jean Paul or some Toronto guys.
So some random Canadians for them to beat up on, because, you know, fuck Canada.
Yeah. They cut a promo afterwards.
Do we have any Canadian listeners? Speak up. Say something. Fuck you.
If we have any Canadian listeners,
fuck
please,
you, Canadians.
No, because
fuck
Travis
you.
hates Canada.
I dare you to say something to me. I dare you. Fuck you.
Well, now we lost Canada, and after Travis's last podcast, we lost all our female viewers. So, yeah.
What are you talking about? Wait. Why do we lose all our female viewers?
You don't remember the last podcast you did with you, me, and Eric? Where
Dude,
you kept
I don't remember
what
I ate for breakfast. What did I say?
You just kept making sexist comments and stuff like that, and I specifically
about
said
what?
on that
What was
podcast,
I talking about?
I don't remember off the top of my head, Travis, but it
Was it
wasn't
about
good.
Peyton Royce? I kind of remember
Yeah,
talking
it was
about
about
Peyton Royce.
being on top of Peyton Royce and all the positions Peyton Royce is good for, and pretty much how just all the things that you want to do to Peyton Royce and that you don't notice if she's good in the ring or not because you're too focused on your thoughts about Peyton Royce.
Is
So
that really sexist, or is that just me being a perv?
you're kind of devaluing her as a talent.
You're right. That is kind of fucked up. I apologize for that. Go ahead.
While we're on that, like I said, Authors of Pain cut that promo, spoke a little Samoan in it, talked about how everything's open, but we're talking women. We're talking Asuka, or not Asuka, I'm sorry.
She's on SmackDown now.
Yeah, she is on SmackDown. And we're not going to get into the Iconics because that's on SmackDown, but we will talk about the moment of bliss. How do you enjoy these moments of bliss from Alexa Bliss? Did you get to see that? I think I posted it on the Smackin' Raw page if you didn't.
Remind me of the moment of bliss.
It is Alexa Bliss coming on. It's just a cut of her head and her telling stories about how Nia Jax is an awful bully and the mean things she does.
Okay, yeah. I
And
remember that.
Fucking hilarious.
It is, yeah. I'm about to say one of my favorite things on Raw is just Alexa Bliss being the awesome heel that she is, and I thoroughly enjoy it.
No, it's absolutely great, and that also led to a match where we saw Natalya with Ronda Rousey at her side go up against Mickie James, who had Alexa Bliss at her side, and Natalya won the match. Alexa Bliss tried to run away because, as of right now, until Backlash, she's not competing in the ring. I'm assuming due to her breast enhancement surgery, she's still healing, and that's why we're not seeing her get physical. But Nia Jax came down and tried to cut off Alexa Bliss, and Alexa Bliss still got away. So,
which, even if she does get in the ring at Backlash, that's pretty fucking amazing. Because I don't know if you know anybody who has gotten, breast enhancement surgery. I do. They are like damn near out of commission for like a week, and like even doing anything physical for like a month is just like out of the question. So if she's getting in the ring at Backlash, that's fucking amazing.
It's been about 2 or 3 weeks, but I'm thinking they're going to find a way to get her out of this match with Nia Jax. I don't see this match going through. But we'll get into that in the predictions when we get to it. So we also saw Sasha Banks lose to Ruby Riott because Ruby Riott had the Riott Squad and Sasha lost her best friend Bayley, who's not speaking. And Sasha doesn't know why.
Listen, Sasha. Let me talk to you for a second. You listening, Sasha? Let me tell you. You are the motherfucking boss. You don't need friends like Bayley, all right? She left you hanging. You don't need friends anyway. When you won the WWE Raw Women's Championship, you ain't had no friends. You did that yourself. So fuck Bayley.
Is that all you've got for Sasha?
That's all she needs.
Okay. Were you... I know you said you didn't watch the Greatest Royal Rumble, but I'm sure it's been all over the internet. Did you see Titus O'Neil's grand entrance into the Greatest Royal Rumble?
Listen, I watched it on a loop over and over and over again. It is my it was my new favorite thing for a while. I get a new favorite thing like every day and a half or so. But for a while, it was my new favorite thing.
So we got Trippin' Worldwide. Cut a backstage promo. He was interrupted by Baron Corbin, who said that he's not inspiring and blah, 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 blah. Corbin has a match against No Way Jose and loses because after talking shit to Titus O'Neil came out, got on the apron, and then tripped off the apron, distracting Baron Corbin, giving No Way Jose the win.
So you telling me Baron Corbin lost to my boy No Way Jose?
That's what I'm telling you. With an assist from Titus Worldwide, so who knows? Maybe No Way Jose will be joining Titus Worldwide.
Yeah, man. I mean, W's a W.
Yep. Now let me ask you this: we talked about factions and how factions are 4 people, in your opinion. Otherwise, it's a 3-man tag team or a tag team.
Well, it's not that simple, but basically, my thing is because you need a different person competing in each quote like division, like you need a different person competing for each belt, so if you just got like 3 dudes who basically just compete for tag titles, that's not really a faction to me. But if you got like
Okay.
somebody competing like, you know, the mid card title and tag title and like, you know, the world title or something, you know, then you got a faction there.
Well, now my question is, let's say No Way Jose joins Titus Worldwide. Now they've got Apollo Crews and Titus. They've got No Way Jose, and they have Dana Brooke. Does Dana Brooke count as that fourth member?
Yeah, she
She
wrestles.
can compete for this title, so that would be a faction. Titus Worldwide would officially be a faction.
If one of them starts competing for the world title.
Oh, they have to compete for the world title.
Well, you know, actually, you know what? If one of them competes like for the mid tier, you know, for the mid card title, and then you got two of them as a tag team, and then Bliss is the women's champ. Well, not women's champ, but competing for the women's title. You know, well, not
Brooke,
what did I say?
you said Bliss.
Oh yeah, I knew I didn't say Brooke, but I'm like, what did I actually say? Anyway, but anyway, you know, if they're like competing in three different, well, you know, different divisions, then yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if like they don't really do anything, they're just kind of there. I don't really even call them a faction still. You know, it's not just having the four people. It's like, you know, them in different, having somebody in different divisions and shit. You know.
Right. So, and I got you, and we kind of discussed that. And like I said, right now on NXT, you've got Undisputed Era, which has tag team champions and then the North American champion. And then one of their guys who was a tag team champion is injured. So they've got one of the other members supplementing. But when he comes back, I'm sure, you know, Adam Cole might go up to the main event and Roderick Strong might slide into that North American spot. But they've got tag team titles and a singles title.
Listen, Matt. I don't care what you tell me. You are not going to convince me to start watching NXT on top of all the shit that I have to watch already. All right?
That's fine. That's fine. I'm working on convincing Eric. If I can get one out of two, that's 50% is good.
I just need this current television season to be over. Like, I
agree.
I need the summer to get here because there are certain things that I want to watch that I can't watch because there's other things that I have obligations to watch that are keeping me from watching other things that I want to watch.
You know what the biggest disappointment for me this weekend was?
What's that?
Kate and I found time. We sat down. We watched 3 episodes of Jessica Jones. And for whatever reason, I thought Jessica Jones was 10 episodes. When I realized it was 13,
I say 13
and I still
bro.
had 3 to go, it crushed me.
Yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch, I thought I was done.
Netflix Marvel series of 13 episodes except for the Defenders.
Dude, it crushed me. I was like, no, I thought I was done. I thought it was over.
So you watching season 2 of Jessica Jones? Or are you on season 1?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, we're on season 2.
That was a chore. I'm not even done with it yet. It's just it's a chore.
Oh, I agree. I don't think it's as good as season 1
not
was
nearly
at all.
But go ahead. Finish what we're talking about WWE right now.
Yeah, we are. We had a promo from the Deleters of Worlds where we saw how Matt Hardy and Bray have been friends and compatriots throughout history. They fought with George Washington. Apparently they were in cave drawings together, so on and so forth. It was actually pretty fucking funny.
I was just about to say, like, I know you don't like the fact that they're a tag team, but like, I swear, every time I see them together, like, it is just great to me. Like, it cracks me up. At the same time, it's just like, yo, it's just wonderful. Keep doing this.
Yeah, you never know. They could be like Raw's New Day. You know, the talented winning / comedy aspect of it. So.
Oh man, did you see? There was a video I saw. I want to say it was on Facebook, but it was a video of just Matt and Jeff after Jeff Hardy won his match.
I did not watch that, but you're talking at the Greatest Royal Rumble where Matt came to congratulate Jeff on retaining the U.S.
calling
title.
him Brother Nero and all that kind of shit. Yeah. It was wonderful.
No, I did not watch it.
It was funny. It was just the same shit, but it's just. Just give me
on the
more
other
of
side.
that.
What?
I was just saying, give me more of that.
I'm 100% sure with them being tag team champions, you'll be getting plenty more of that, Travis.
And I'm happy for it.
On the other end of the spectrum, we have Drew and Dolph Ziggler, who are a very serious tag team, and they cut a backstage promo as well about how they're pretty much, again, there to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and they're all out of bubble gum. We're serious. We're here to make an impact, blah, blah, blah.
Well,
Raw's gone soft.
As much as I like the Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt tag team, I do not like this tag team.
Really?
I do not. Reason why I don't is because you got Drew McIntyre back, and what you decide to do is throw him on a tag team. Like, he spent that time away building himself up. He's, you get Jinder Mahal back after he spent some time away building himself up, and you put the strap on him. But you get, somebody as talented as Drew McIntyre, who, in my opinion, is a better performer than Jinder Mahal, and you throw him in a tag team with Dolph. Now, I partially feel like it's because they have no idea what the fuck they're gonna do with Dolph.
Yeah, there's that. They did put the strap on McIntyre in NXT before he got hurt and then made his main roster debut. So when they did bring him back to WWE, they skyrocketed him in NXT right to the main event, put the title on him, and then he got hurt, and he had been off until he made his main event debut, or his main roster debut.
What I'm saying is you could have easily just, maybe, like I said, maybe we're just marking time until Backlash, because after that, I feel like he needs to be in a feud with Rollins for that IC title.
And that's what I was going to say is you can't really skyrocket him and put the heavyweight title strap on him because Brock. And there is no main event except Brock and Roman Reigns or whoever substitutes for Roman Reigns in between.
Which I'm still holding out hope will be Bobby Lashley. But go ahead.
We'll see. You brought up Rollins, so let's talk about it. He came out. He did his, I'm a fighting champ. I'm going to bring meaning to this title. I'm going to defend it, blah, blah, blah. Finn Balor comes out, interrupts, says, hey, that's great. Let's have a match tonight. And then the Miz's music hits, and out comes the Miztourage in T-shirts. Yeah. But they're wearing T-shirts that have all four guys' faces on them, and they say, forget about the Shield. Forget about the Balor Club. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of us. Let's be the Four Horsemen. And Seth and Balor walk away and have a little discussion, come back and say it's a hard pass. I'd kind of like to see that version of the Four Horsemen with Seth, Balor, and Miztourage.
I would not. But I will say I like what the Miztourage is doing, the whole trying to just join up with other people thing. I'll continue to watch that, and that gives them something to do, which keeps them interesting to me. So I'm okay with that.
Bray or Matt Hardy offered them to come join the Deleters of Worlds and said, leave those obsolete mules alone. There's a place for you here. So I don't know why they don't just forget about Seth Rollins and fucking Finn Balor and go over and join the tag team champions of Bray Wyatt and fucking Matt Hardy.
Maybe
Bo Dallas is Bray Wyatt's brother.
Maybe they will.
So I'm hoping for that.
What about your boys, the Ascension? Aren't they on Raw now?
They're on Raw, and they're still cannon fodder for every tag team. And if we get Fashion Files back, I'm assuming they'll still be part of the Fashion Files because they're kind of tied to Breezango, who's also on Raw. So, anyway, we had the IC title match in the main event, and Rollins retained and beat Finn Balor cleanly with the blackout. So now Rollins has beaten Finn Balor 3 times. Finn Balor's beaten Rollins twice. I don't really know where – there's not too much you can do with 2 good guys in a feud. Like, you can do it and you can build to a match, maybe 2, but there's not much you can do while they're both still good guys.
Speaking of the 2 good guys thing, I've given it time and I've tried, Matt. I've tried. But I don't like Seth Rollins as a good guy. I need Rollins as a heel.
Okay.
He's not entertaining as a face. It is what it is. I need Rollins as a heel.
I disagree. Don't get me wrong. He's probably better as a heel, but I see Seth Rollins as this era's Bret Hart.
Yeah.
I think he works both ways. He's probably better a little better as a heel, but I feel he works both ways, and he really is this era's Bret Hart.
You talking like early 90s Bret Hart?
Not early 90s, early to mid 90s, main event style Bret Hart. I guess IC title too, after he got out of the Hart Foundation and went solo.
I guess. I'm not gonna say you're completely wrong on that, but I'm just like, Bret Hart holds a very high status for me, sir.
I understand that. I actually watched the Bret Hart documentary on the network this morning.
I don't know if I've seen that.
It's on there. It was from like 2005 or something. It was like
I
right
probably
after he
did see
patched
it
things
then.
up with Vince.
Oh, okay. I may have seen that then.
Yeah.
Probably saw that when it first came out. I just don't remember it. But, yeah. I don't know. I just don't like Rollins as a face. It just doesn't feel natural to me. And he can't do that thing that Bret Hart did, towards the end of his WWE time before he went to WCW, where he's like, a heel or a face, depending on where he is, because,
He can if he gets a good person to play off of, like he had with Stone Cold and Shawn Michaels. And as I've said, Dolph Ziggler has the ability and the talent to be the Shawn Michaels of this era. They just refuse to push him. So
you're depending on a whole lot of stars to align to make that happen. And I'm saying it probably won't.
Oh, it's not going to happen. Don't get me wrong. I'm not depending on stars to align to make that happen. I'm just saying you have these two guys. You have this talent. You could do this, but they won't. Seth Rollins has a match with The Miz at Backlash this Sunday, and The Miz came out on Miz TV with the United States champion Jeff Hardy, and then the surprise guest Randy Orton, and then the surprise interruption from your boy Shelton Benjamin, who beat Randy Orton again last week, and you weren't here to talk about that, which led to a tag team match where Hardy and Orton took on The Miz and Shelton, and Hardy and Orton won, and then
Cheated.
Randy RKO Jeff.
Cheated.
But Shelton did beat Orton last week.
Yes, he did. He certainly did.
One might say Orton was distracted by a Singh brother, and that gave Shelton an advantage, but
he took advantage of what somebody else did. Shelton didn't cheat. Somebody else did.
I'm glad you kept saying cheated, because I want to ask you something.
Ask
I've heard
away.
you say many times on this podcast, a win's a win. Doesn't matter how you. So what is the significance of whether or not he cheated? Because a win's a win.
That's very true. However, the circumstances of the win matter when they go against how I feel.
Oh, so it's just about how you feel.
I'm glad you're finally understanding that.
Okay. All right. How'd you like that tag team match and the Miz TV segment where the Miz is trying to stir up issues between Jeff and Randy, and they both kind of look at him and they're like, who the fuck do you think you are? Like, we don't have any problems. We're cool.
Why was he bringing up the fucking top 10 ranking thing? I thought we were done with that. I thought that was going away because it's just we they clearly realized very quickly that nobody gives a fuck about this, and it's not helping anything. It's only making things worse. And I thought it was gone. I thought we weren't dealing with this anymore. But then he brings it up. Why?
Because what else are you going to give Randy Orton shit about? You could give him shit about losing the WWE title to Jinder Mahal, but Jinder's over on Raw. That's irrelevant. You give him shit about, losing the U.S. title to Bobby Roode, but Bobby Roode's on Raw. That's irrelevant. So he's got his chance to get it back against Jeff Hardy. What else is relevant to SmackDown that you can give Randy Orton shit about? There's not a whole lot.
You can give him shit about just being fucking irrelevant for the last 5 years.
Yeah, you could do that too. He was WWE champion and did win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but that was only because they wanted to swerve us to keep, because we all thought Roman Reigns was going to win that Rumble.
That, and they had a really hot feud with him and Bray going into WrestleMania, which unfortunately ended with Bray losing his title. But hey, he got one. I'll always have that. He won one. We were talking about it earlier. The Iconics and Carmella came out and cut a promo, and I've got to say, I am really enjoying Billie Kay and Peyton Royce doing what I do, where they come out and they do a really bad imitation, except instead of saying it's a bad imitation, they're just selling it like they were spot on and it was perfect. It's entertaining. And again, Carmella, great on the mic. This was actually
I
backstage.
would watch Carmella read a phone book because it is. I guarantee she'll find a way to make it entertaining.
This was backstage, and the Iconics dismissed Renee so that they could interview Carmella, which made it even better. All this led to the 6-woman tag team match where we had the Iconics and Mella, because that's how she wants to be referred to now. Mella is money. Versus Charlotte, Becky, and Asuka.
Make sure you said that.
That Mella is money.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like I said, we got that 6-woman tag against Charlotte, Becky, and Asuka, which Asuka won. So,
yeah, it was good to see they would, continue to give the women the spotlight. Also, let them main event the show.
Yep.
And they performed and they delivered.
I agree. Mm-hmm. You can't really go wrong in any match with Charlotte, Becky, and Asuka. I've talked about it before. Billie Kay's in-ring work has been a little shoddy. It's kind of bothered me. It almost looks like she should have spent a little more time down in NXT, but I understand, if you bring Peyton up, you got to bring her up too. They're kind of a package deal. I hate to say it, but I feel the same way about Bobby Lashley since he's been back. He looks like he's rushing into stuff, and then he's going too quick, and he can't. I believe there was even a move where he tried to pick someone up and dropped him because he was just moving too fast.
If you're referring to that whole thing when he tried to do that that whole suplex thing where he holds him up forever.
No, I think it was overhead press or something. He went to go grab a guy and pick him up and ended up, maybe it was a power bomb or something. He did something, and he was moving so quick, and he went to pick the guy up and just ended up dropping the guy because he couldn't lift him up. No, he did have him up. He had him up in a press, but he couldn't press him, and he had to drop him real quick and throw him. It was, like I said, since he's been back, he's been kind of barreling through stuff. He's not taking his time, and he's kind of stumbling.
I think a lot of that might have to do with the fact that, like I said, they've been giving him very limited exposure, and he's trying to get, like they say, get all his shit in,
Okay.
And when you rushing through trying to get all your shit in, you get fuck ups like that. And he trying to once he's back on, in the WWE, he wants to show everybody what he can do, and that, causes him to fuck up because he's trying to get all his shit in, which might be what's happening with, Billie Kay and Peyton Royce, trying to get all your shit in and trying to, make sure people see you instead of just putting on a good match.
Yeah, that could be. She's been doing it since she got in, and it's all been in tag team matches where she's kind of been the primary one in the ring, so she's had most of the time. So I don't feel like she needs to get her shit in. I think she just needs to slow down because she's starting sloppy, and it doesn't look great. She needs to reassess it. While we're on women, Lana is back with Rusev Day.
I saw that, yes.
And she is trying to get rid of Aiden English.
I was about to say, yeah, she's like, there's a problem. Winning. And yeah.
Yeah, you ain't winning, and I'm not going to say who it is, but he raps and sings, and he's right there. So,
yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, because what do you do with Aiden English if he's not with Rusev? She breaks up Rusev Day. Where does he go?
It's kind of the same thing with Lana. What do you do with Lana if she's not with Rusev?
She competed in the women's division. She can continue to compete.
Did absolutely nothing.
She had a couple women's title matches.
Back in what you would call the Divas era, she would have been fine. But right now, she can't do that.
She's better in the ring than Kelly Kelly.
And Kelly Kelly couldn't do anything in the ring right now either.
I'm saying she's not the worst. She's serviceable for this era of women's wrestling.
No, she's not.
She is in no way, shape, or form going to be champion.
No, she's not serviceable for this era of women's wrestling. That's my point. 5 years ago, yeah, she'd have been fine. She could have been fine 5 years ago. But right now, no. So, maybe you can let her train for another year or something, and then maybe she'll be okay. But right now, no.
Well, she's been gone for a while. She might have been training. And like I said, I don't feel like she was that horrible when she had her title matches. or in her tag team matches, I feel like Billie Kay's been fucking up more than Lana did in those matches. So if Billie Kay is serviceable and Billie Kay can wrestle in the women's division, and Lana's been away doing more training, I don't see why not. We'll have to see if she's actually going to get back in the women's division or if she's just going to be Rusev's valet.
Okay, you're allowed to be wrong, but what I'm saying
I
is,
am.
like, I'm not saying Lana's horrible, just not good enough.
Okay. Well, we're going to go from Rusev Day to the New Day. The New Day, the bar, Mr. Bootyworth, Baby Oil. This whole backstage promo was fucking great. They have a butler that comes in with a silver platter of pancakes. For whatever reason, Big E just starts rubbing baby oil on his chest.
I was like, why? Why is this a thing? I'm not mad at it, but why is this a thing?
And then Sheamus challenges them to a match. So Big E's like, oh, okay. And he gets all loud and gets in his face. And he's like, no, not you, Xavier Woods. Did he make a video game reference? I swear he made a video game. Oh, Shang Tsung. Yes, he made a Mortal Kombat reference.
Yeah. He said, like, your soul is mine. Yeah, he's the Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
And then after he beat Sheamus, he got on Twitter and posted the picture from the movie where the soul goes into Shang Tsung's eye and said something about how he now has all of Sheamus's power, or he owns Sheamus's soul, or can transform into Sheamus whenever he wants to, but he'll never do that. Something along those lines. It was fucking great.
Yeah. That's why the New Day is awesome, man.
No, they are. I feel bad for the bar because they went from being the biggest thing on Raw to they haven't won a match in God knows how long for anything. But it's good to see Xavier get a win in a singles match, especially over a former WWE champion and world heavyweight champion like Sheamus. And
a lot of people forget that. Yeah,
Mr.
Sheamus is a former world champion, folks.
Yeah. And I hope we get more of Mr. Bootyworth because that was great.
Yeah.
While we're talking about comedy, Big Cass came out. He cut a promo, and then out came Daniel Bryan. And they had a little parlay, him and Daniel Bryan. Did you see that on SmackDown?
I remember Big Cass coming out.
It was originally reported that Daniel Bryan couldn't be there because they were worried about an infection from his chest. But his music hit, and it looked to me just like Daniel Bryan. They were the same height and everything as he came down to the ring, and he did the yes chant, and everyone was doing yes with him.
So
I don't know why.
So hold on a second. I didn't see this segment. I don't remember this actual segment, but I'm going to make a guess here. All right. As someone who has watched wrestling before, and I believe that I heard Cass talking. I may have fell asleep again because he bores me. And I went to the bathroom also. That may have been at a different time. But I don't remember anything happening with Cass. But I'm going to make a guess. Did he bring out a midget?
No, he brought out Daniel Bryan. Like I said, I mean, yes, chant and everything, same height. They insinuated that it was a midget, but I didn't see any difference. It looked just like him. Just like him. And then he beat up Daniel Bryan, just like he's going to do this Sunday at Backlash.
So they brought out a midget Daniel Bryan, and then Big Cass beat him up and yada, yada, yada.
Is it fair to call it a midget Daniel Bryan when Daniel Bryan himself isn't very tall?
You mean as in the same height as you?
Yeah, I'm not tall. Like, I feel like if you dressed up a little midget like me and had him run around, you might not know the difference. All you gotta do is shave his head and give a beard, you know? Have him do the same mannerisms as me. You probably wouldn't be able to tell.
Oh, man. Anyway.
Yeah. So Big Cass beat up the midget after he brought out midget Daniel Bryan, and it was all right. I got to say this. I know you said Big Cass bores you, but since he has been back, his promo work has been 10 times better than it was while he was with Enzo, and Enzo was doing the majority of the mic work.
I'm about to say, he didn't have any promos when he was with Enzo. Enzo did all the talking.
He did some talking. They were trying to give him a little push there, and he fucked it up. Like, he was not good. He's been way better. Not that he's not by any means like he's great or anything, but he's at least average now.
He's another one. Give him a manager.
I agree with that. We also had AJ Styles come out because Shinsuke wanted an apology for them getting counted out at the Greatest Royal Rumble and the match not finishing or whatever the
Whatever the
deal was.
fuck.
But AJ said he ain't apologizing. Samoa Joe interrupted, and then we got more dick punching. We have
Of
had
course.
one. We have had one punch to the dick, at least one punch to the dick, every single time they have met in the ring. Now, my coworker made a really good point, and maybe it was because of the Shang Tsung reference earlier, but I think going into this no DQ match, I need to see Shinsuke do a Johnny Cage.
I was just about to are you about to talk about the Johnny Cage split and punching the dick?
Yes, I need that. Though I am fairly certain that because it's a no DQ match, AJ is going to wear a cup. So at least give us the split punch. So he hurts his fist and it's not just a regular low blow. That would make it a little more entertaining, make it a little special. Give me that Johnny Cage dick punch.
I'm okay with that.
Last thing from SmackDown was Paige disbanding Absolution. They came up and, our best friends here.
Did she actually disband
us?
them, or did she just say that it was over from her perspective?
Well, I mean, they can still be together and call themselves whatever they want, but she said Absolution is dead, and then said Mandy gets to face Becky when Mandy and Sonya were trying to figure out which one of them was getting a title shot.
Listen.
Because they're best friend.
Listen. Absolution is not dead. All right? I was personally told by Mordecai that Absolution is not dead.
Oh, God.
He's still coming.
So close.
Because he will still be their manager.
Okay.
They are not dead. Mordecai,
do we know when he's coming?
No, you gotta wait. Just what's her name now? Thea Trinidad. What's her name?
Zelina Vega.
Yeah. Like she said, whenever she decides, whenever he decides he's coming is when he's coming. You don't need to worry about when he'll be here.
Which reminds me that we're still waiting on Sanity and or Chaos, whatever they're going to be called when they come up because of that confusing promo, and Andrade Cien Almas to make their debut. All right, Travis, let's get into our predictions. I think this is going to be pretty cut and dry. I got Eric's back, and except for one match, him and I had the exact same picks. And maybe it was just because he wanted to pack and get it over with and he didn't put any thought into it, or maybe because everything's pretty fucking obvious. Right off the top, WWE Championship match, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke.
Yep, that's where me and Eric went too. This is their third bout. It is a no DQ match. It really just doesn't make sense to have AJ win this match at all.
Yeah, he can dick punch all he wants now. Yeah, Shinsuke. All day.
All right. We have our WWE SmackDown Live Women's Champion Carmella defending her title against the Queen, Charlotte.
Mella is money.
And we all agree there too. Like I said, I feel like it's going to be pretty fucking cut and dry here. I don't know that there's going to be a winner. Depending on whether you agree with me on a match or you agree with Eric on a match, and I know you're going to agree with me on that match, we'll see.
I
next
might
up, we got
surprise
Roman
you,
Reigns
Matt.
versus
I might throw you a curveball on one of these. Go ahead.
Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe.
My money's on Joe.
There's your curveball right there because I don't see them letting fucking Roman Reigns lose after they're still working this fucking Brock Lesnar angle.
See, I see them sending Roman Reigns on this quote downward spiral. So I'm saying Joe's gonna get that W. But go ahead.
I hope you're right, but I'm trying to predict with my head, not my heart.
That's not even my heart. That's just logic to me. It seems like that's the kind of path they're going on with this story. But go ahead.
Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton for the United States title.
Oh, Jeff. They're keeping it on Jeff.
Yep. Seth Rollins versus The Miz. I'm assuming that if The Miz wins, he goes back to Raw because that's
dumb.
where the title
Keep
is.
the belt on Seth Rollins. Go ahead.
Again, we agree. All right. Braun Strowman and Lashley versus Zayn and Owens.
I mean, unless there's some crazy shenanigans, Braun Strowman and Bobby Lashley take that W.
Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's Championship.
Nia Jax is keeping the strap. Keep going.
That is where Eric went Alexa Bliss. I don't think he was thinking with his head there. I think he was thinking with his heart.
No, he was thinking
Like
with
I
his
said,
penis, but go ahead.
yeah. Well, maybe his heart has a penis, or who knows?
Yeah, and the
Like I
knee
said,
bone's connected to the dick bone, but go ahead.
I'm not 100% sure this match is going to happen, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Last but not least, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass.
I mean, I guess Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it's a grudge match because Big Cass jumped Daniel Bryan last week, and he's been calling him out. Had the midget come out, this and that, blah blah blah. We all went Daniel Bryan too. So the only difference in your and my picks were you went Samoa Joe, where I went Reigns, and the only difference between you and Eric were that one, and then he went Alexa Bliss against Nia Jax. So it'll be interesting to see. I still got to get Kate's picks too because she didn't email me back. But yeah, that's Backlash. And if you
What
ask
about the
me,
Polish Tiger's picks? You get his picks?
no, I didn't even mail them out to him.
Oh, okay.
I was busy and in a rush at work, so
No worries.
I
was just curious.
But I will talk to him to see if he will come on and do the live podcast with us since Eric won't be available. It's not overwhelming. It's not even whelming. This card is just kind of underwhelming. Like, first off, I feel like they're having it way too soon. They did that Greatest Royal Rumble, which really wasn't a WWE pay-per-view. It was a special event, but we just had it last week. You don't have Money in the Bank until the 19th of June. Why are we doing this the very first weekend of the month? Why not wait at least another week, if not two?
Is there not? Oh, so yeah, I guess there isn't another pay-per-view in May. Yeah.
No, just Backlash.
Yeah.
Seems very, very strange to me, but hey, that's what they're doing, so... who's winning on Monday Night Raw, Travis?
Braun Strowman?
All right, yeah. I mean, he got that pin on Kevin Owens in that match. I'm gonna go Rollins because he successfully defended his IC title.
I mean, there wasn't really much that I saw on Raw that was just like, oh yeah, you're the winner. Okay.
What about Titus Worldwide taking that fall and turning it around and making something out of it?
That's assuming that they actually do make something out of it.
Well, they brought it up again on Monday Night Raw. He talked about how he wants to be an inspiration, and then they used it in this apparent feud that they're starting between him and Baron Corbin.
If that continues into next week, then I'll give that to him. But if that sounds like a thing that'll be over after this week.
I kind of want a Trippin' Worldwide t-shirt with that picture of his feet just hanging out of the bottom of the ring. Who's losing on Raw?
Reigns. Because he came out and people just hate him, and it's funny to me.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, there was not one single cheer in Canada. That boo was clear, and they won't let him be a heel, so he can't even really acknowledge it. He's just got to sit there and fucking take it, which has got to suck. Who's winning on SmackDown?
Asuka.
All right. I was going to go Xavier Woods. Not only did they have the best segment of the night, but he beat a former WWE and World Heavyweight Champion in a singles match.
I feel you on that.
And he stole his soul. So, that's a hell of a victory right there. Who's losing?
AJ.
Because he got punched in the dick again?
Yup.
Yeah. I feel bad for that man. I know he's got some kids. I don't see him having any after this. So at least he got a couple out before this happened. Because that man's been punched in the dick more times than I can count at this point. All right, Travis. You mentioned earlier Wild Wild West World. Every Sunday, about 30 minutes after the Westworld goes off air.
Which means Creation Magazine will have 2 live events on Sunday night.
Oh, geez. Which one... How are you going to swing that?
What you mean? How are you gonna swing that? One
How are you
happens
going to
at
be able to watch the
9:30, and one
pay-per-view?
happens after the fucking pay-per-view.
Yeah, but I'm saying, how are you going to watch the pay-per-view while you're watching Westworld to do the Westworld show?
I'm gonna miss some shit.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Eric's kind of screwing us here. Eric and I could have done it and just had you set it up.
No worries. No worries. I'm gonna miss some shit. It's just what it is.
All right. Well, the reason it's Wild Wild Westworld is because Travis has an unhealthy obsession with the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So his love for Will Smith probably exceeds that for his love of vagina, which is scary. So that's why it's Wild Wild Westworld. But
Actually,
yes,
that's not why. It's actually because originally the name was gonna be Once Upon a Time in the Westworld, like the old Western movie.
Okay.
And then, like, for some reason, I was working, and I'm like, Once Upon a Time in the West, man lost his damn mind in the West. And I started thinking of that song, I'm like, Wild Wild Westworld. I'm gonna go with that because Once Upon a Time in the Westworld is just too long of a title, and I'm not writing all that every time.
And that song that you were singing, who sings that?
Your mama. But go ahead.
My mama does not sing that song. If she had a record deal, I'd be doing a lot better than I am right now. She had that Will Smith money. So anyway, you also have Super Flash Arrow, which drops the same day that this drops.
A day after.
Every week. I thought they both drop on Friday.
No, this drops on Thursday, sir.
Really?
Only time it drops on Friday is when we record on Thursday.
Okay, fair enough. So, Super Flash Arrow of tomorrow, featuring Black Lightning when the show is on, will drop on Friday.
Yes.
It's every week while the DC Universe Arrow shows are on.
So we have about 3 weeks left, I believe.
Thank God, because this is just killing me.
Mm-hmm.
And half the shows are already on their finale, so...
Yeah, Black Lightning has had their finale. Legends has had their finale. After this week, Arrow has 2 more shows left. Flash has 3 more shows left, and Supergirl has 3 more shows left.
So there you go. So you've got about another 3 weeks worth of checking out if you are a fan of the DC Universe. Super Flash Arrow of tomorrow.
Or if you're catching it late and you watching it on Netflix when they pop up, still check the show out.
There's that too. And once a month, you have the Creation Conversation as well.
We took a hiatus for the month of April just because of scheduling problems. But yeah, we'll be back in May.
All right. You can find them on Facebook at www.facebook.com/groups/Super
of tomorrow.
Of tomorrow. www.facebook.com/Creation Magazine, which is where you should be able to find us. I will also tag us on our Facebook page so that you can find our live stream on Sunday. That is www.facebook.com/groups/SmackinItRaw. Please check that out. Please tune in. I will be checking your comments. I will try and respond to your comments as soon as I see them. Try and be as interactive as possible as we talk about this lackluster ass pay-per-view that we are going to witness on Sunday.
We will try to sound enthused about this very lackluster pay-per-view.
Travis, they can find you on social media at a really long Twitter name that I am not going to spell out.
Facebook and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT.
And you can find me on Twitter at Matt Ritter. That is at MATTRIDDER. And both of us on Facebook at either one of the Facebook pages either of the 3 Facebook pages that we previously mentioned. So please check us out. Please comment, respond, let us know what you think. You got anything else, Travis?
Not today.
All right. Your boy Kane, since we haven't had a Kane fact in a while, Kane fact of the day, he is now the mayor of Knox County.
One time
by
for
17
Kane,
votes. Y'all. That is it. We are Smacking It Raw, and we are that damn good.
We out.
Good.
We out.